So we are back with more Christmas event. Chris already getting in with the high YouTube. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. So we're actually going to swap out characters. We just did a run of all the characters I had in the first character bag. However, we're going to be switching over to TTF, and hopefully we'll get something crazy. And then we're going to end today's session by actually using the coal. So I already have 50 in the share bank, so I don't need to worry about depositing that amount at the moment. At some point, I need to round it up and put it away. The coal does not expire. I can use it whenever I want. So we're going to be starting with Pink ID. So up to you, Chris, who you want to bring in. That may or may not change who makes the game. I will probably make the games for Green and Verdia, as they are amazing episode 1 IDs. Orange is a little on the fence. They have some interesting rares, but I'd prefer not to make Pink ID. So we'll wait to hear back from Chris to see what he is interested in. Pink ID can get, what rare did they get? Rico's Glasses. And Orange gets DF Shield, which is okay. But not like anything too crazy. If I want like good rares that are not going to get Red Ring, I'd rather do Yellow ID. You'll stick with the Rockcast. What ID is your Rockcast? Pink ID can get things like Bringer's Right Arm, Guardiana, but we're not going to be fighting a lot of normal enemies, so it's not as useful to play Pink ID here. Your Sky ID. I think that's fine. Sky ID should be fine. They don't get like the best rares ever, but more importantly, they get chances at Red Ring. the most important thing. They get Red Saber instead of Frozen Shooter, which is a mixed bag. You have to kind of want that for sure. Otherwise, like, Pink ID doesn't give you anything crazy. I think that's fine. Why don't you make the game? And then I'll probably make the Orange ID one to maybe get a D-roll A shell or something, and or a V101. So I'm gonna go ahead and play as my Pink ID. You know what, I think this is just one of those moments where I just say whatever, and I just equip it right. Oh, there's the Charge Mech gun. I forgot I got it on this character. Nice. Oh, this character is so ready. One cannot understate. I need to sell some items on this character later. But first I'll start up the quest, then I'll go sell some items. So this character has my 40-hit Charge Mech guns. I got in a present earlier. Nice. So I think I confused people, I think in a couple... Well, technically for me it was a session ago, but a couple sessions ago where I was talking about rare rates. I just want to be clear, when I say like something has 101 rare rate, it's just the multiplier on the rare chance itself. I don't think I explicitly said that, but I definitely thought it. But just for people that don't play the game, I just want to make that very clear. Because I just feel it's unlucky when you fight like 200 Gertabulus, or you fight like, I don't know, like 400 Sinnoh, because you do TTF to death, and you don't get like a V101 when it's 150 rare rate. It's just brutal. It's like you put in the grind, no reward. just get wrecked immediately. Do I really need all these weapons on me at one time? I don't need Slicer. I'm gonna put away my Slicer for now, so I've less to menu through. Rambling May I need. Mech Gun I could use because it's funny. But I think, chat, I think it's time for me to be serious. I'm finally gonna equip a Red Ring on this character. She has been long overdue for it. She's earned it, chat. Listen, she's defeated Falls so many times. Where is it at? There it is. I want my ATP, chat. Serious mode engaged. Wow, what a defense increase, by the way. Holy, 130. Nice. Oh, I'm still not at max ATP with her. Interesting. I'm at max evade, max luck, max ATA. I'm not that far off from MST. I think I'm like literally a level up away. But Yeah, this should help with my hit chances enormously. Ooh, not quite enough to kill on my own. Oh well, I tried. Speaking of tried, let's not get stun locked. You could go to the next room, Chris. I was just messing around. I'll get some mech gun. Zappy zap that. Wow, that damage is silly. $250 ATA? That's not bad. With shifted D-band 41, I'm sure her mech guns must be very silly. As I'm almost killing a Hilda-Bear from full health with a force, which is silly. I should not be able to do that, ever. Excuse me. That means in single player, I could probably kill all the way up to mines with one combo. Is they're not going to have as much health as these multiplayer enemies, and they'll have less defense, comparatively, too. Oh, I don't have a worm weapon still. Why does she cast spells like that? That is too funny. Oh, maybe I brought Slicer for the worm, now that I think about it. That's fine. Oh, nice. I can just heart attack without missing. Oh, almost got the glitch. No glitch health today. Wow, that boss died instantly. I'm surprised it even lifted at all with how quick that died. Beyond much tankier. I think with Red Ring, I don't think Sinnoh can even hurt me at all in multiplayer. I'm willing to state, I think even most things in Ruins can't hurt this character anymore. Like like set damage will still hit me and lasers will still hit me, but like the Darkbringer swinging at me, I don't know if that could damage me if I have D-band on. With 478 base defense, which again, I just like to state is better than my Hunters. And honestly, their attack isn't like horribly low. Oops, my bad. I got distracted. Didn't realize I wasn't walking in a straight line. Yeah, just left just a little more ATP. This character needs 1.2 mil to level, which will never happen. I'm gonna put one Gafoe down and then walk away. That works. Yeah, that's good enough to kill Lily. Nice. just bring out your guns, chat. That's fine. Oh, so that can sometimes not do enough if one of the hits misses. Okay. I'll just be aware of that. Also, stealing TP even easier. That extra accuracy definitely helps. Wow, they never even left the spawn. That's so sick. Too good. But yeah, this character feels complete. Like, this character actually feels really good. Not as a force, but as a slightly gifted magic melee character. You have to kind of view this character like that. Like, she's got the worst MST in the game for no reason. Again, I feel like they did some of the characters dirty with their max stats. She should have had more MST than the Fomar. I'm just stating it. It doesn't make any sense that she doesn't. But unfortunately, that is the way it is. She also has lower ATP than the Fomar. The difference being she's got way better defense, slightly more health to my knowledge, and much better accuracy. So it's a little easier to hit the high evade enemies in multiplayer. In single player, that's less of an issue. It could still be an issue if you're not at like a high hit weapon for sure, but it's not as devastating as it would be for others. There we go. It's still one cycle, it's just slightly delayed. It's like a 1.1 cycle. Poor worm. I know, even without me having the right weapon, it still didn't matter. I could have Terrell's, if I remember to bring Terrell's. That would have been the optimal choice. And given that I had more accuracy, that would help me actually with the Worm Boss. Worm Boss is surprisingly good at dodging hits. Given that it's so huge and it doesn't really move that much, it is weirdly tanky. Anyway, back to actually being a spellcaster briefly. So as I said before, I view this character as kind of like a mage tank, might be the best way to put it. In single player, this character is one of the most unkillable characters I've ever seen. The fact that you can debuff them by up to level 30 in single player is insane. Couple that with good defense and female-only weapons, and the fact that she also gets a unique weapon animation for shotguns, leading to things like the bazookas being some of the best weapons for her, period. Arguably would even use them over other shared rares. It's just quite amazing. She can get access to something called the Rambling May, which is a double-hit sniper that has infinite vertical range. Normally it's quite slow because it uses a shotgun animation, but for whatever reason, she shoots it faster than a pistol. So she ends up doing an insane amount of damage. This is the gun I'm talking about. Like, this is supposed to be a shotgun animation. If this character was like a ranger instead of a force, she would be the most broken character ever. Spread Needle would just be like infinitely fast, and it's very Sega balancing. So this character ends up having a lot of interesting tools, but she does require some gear. Kind of like her and the Fomar, if you want to use them for ATP, which is highly recommended, by the way, as you get into certain episodes or certain combos, you're going to need weapons with hit percentage. So they have a little bit of a grind to them. So that's why it's a little hard to call this character a first character choice. But once you got a character already in ultimate and you can build up a mind mag, and you've got like decent-ish techniques, doesn't have to be 27, could just be like 22. It is such a night and day difference with damage and enjoyability. And Forces, I think, are my favorite second or third character to make. Once you have those items, it's just such a breeze to clear everything. Alright, let's see how much they hit me for. They hit me for 4 damage. I'm in multiplayer. The Sinnohs did 4 damage. I have 1,000 health. Do the math, chat. These things are never going to kill me. It did 4. As a force. Absolutely absurd. This character is ridiculous. I'm not even cap defense. If I cap defense, I don't think they can hurt me with the red ring on. Like, actually ridiculously unfair. Yeah, I could use armor that gives even more defense if I want to. Congeal Cloak is not useful in TTF runs. I do find it useful in generic runs or some Episode 4 runs, because I play more of a support mage who's going to be spamming Rabarda anyway. Let's go for, I guess, Gazan Lukes here. But yeah, she is ridiculously tanky. Oh, I actually got the Gazan loop on them. Pretty good. Grant's 21. I think I'm actually going to take that. That is sadly probably an upgrade for me. Not on this character. I think Chris was kind enough to give me my first level 30 technique on this character. So she has one good spell, and that's Grant's, which is useful for Girdabulu and some fights in episode 2. But because she's got such high ATP, decent accuracy for a force, she's able to basically do everything she wants in episode 2. She also comes with really great support tech. So what I mean by that is normally you have a limitation of how far you can hit things like shift in D-band. She naturally gets a double, so she is an excellent character if you are just looking to help friends in general. She has some of the worst Resta, sadly, even though she's got increased Resta range. So other characters will be better healers than her, but she's kind of the complete package. You don't really need to get additional items in order for her to be good at being a support character, or as I said, like a support kind of mage tank thing. But she's fun. Like, I do okay damage here. I'll quit my magical... Well, actually, no, I should have quit my Vivian. More damage. Yeah, there we go. I think the fact that she's got a good saber animation does mean she starts to pull ahead in terms of being able to melee. Like, Fomar is technically so much better than her in Melee, just if you look at the stats. But in terms of, like, enjoyability, I don't know if that's true. I mean, he's got good Excalibur, and don't get me wrong, Excalibur is really good. But if I want to use things like Partisans, or I want ranged on... Oh, I'm gonna get zapped. You might be able to just... Oh. Why did the boss instantly kill me? Weird. It didn't do the normal thing where it waits. Maybe because you broke apart, it just detonated it early. Well, goodbye that escape doll I had. Rest in peace. Yeah, I wasn't even in it for more than 2 seconds. The time where I was like, oh, I got hit, was I then died. Like, it was very weird. Anyway, I guess we'll call that multiplayer quirks. That's not how it's supposed to work. I guess because a part shattered, maybe it triggered it. It's just like one of those behaviors where I don't think it's common enough for me to really isolate it, but that's probably the scenario. Given that spread needle breaks parts so easy. Yeah, look at that single target damage. Absolutely fantastic. This weapon also steals TP. So on top of her having like an okay animation, she even has a way to just refill her TP. So she feels very self-sufficient, very hard to kill. Could do oh, I pulled them wrong, my bad. Oh well, I still got by. Chris, on the other hand, he has to struggle. But from that standpoint, yeah, just a lot of fun. Rambling May, double hitting with a sniper weapon that shoots as fast as a pistol. Means she ends up having a lot of advantages on enemies that are normally very annoying to fight. And with the forced benefit of getting level 30 Barda and Gifoe, whether through god techniques or legitimately finding those, pretty fun. I don't know if she's my favorite force, but if I'm looking to play episode 1 in multiplayer, I think she's up there. I think I like her more than my Phonumen for it. The only reason why she's slower than the other forces right now is that I just don't have Excalibur on her. That's literally it. If I put Excalibur on her, she would outspeed kill my Phonumen, because I really don't use spells for damage, and she's got higher ATP than he does. Oh, look at that, I'm at max MST, 1284. So I think I need 6 more levels, potentially, to hit max. Maybe 7. Considering I'm not even 190 yet, it's pretty silly. So I look forward to that. And again, that's just more time to get more levels. I shouldn't hit the 1500 health barrier, so I should be safe from most nonsense. I have enough HP to survive a lot of set damage. If I get clipped by the spinners here, it really doesn't matter. I have 54 ice resist on because I have Congeal Cloak. I'm ready to not take damage from this boss. Give me the little love tap there, that's fine. So yeah, I just feel like because she has access to female weapons, I like her more than the Fomar for having those ranged options and the multi-hit differences. But again, if we're just talking purely about if I'm going to use Excalibur, then yeah, just pick Fomar. Oh, I should have been using Gifoe. Well, I'll Rambling May to make up for it. Like, here's a scenario where the Fomar would not be able to really hurt the boss. We almost skipped getting hit by that. Had I used Gifoe, that would have been enough damage, I think. Even if it was 100 Gifoe. Oh well. I'll heal Chris and we'll move on. And again, double rest to range. I should heal him no matter what. Red Ring actually making that normal attack consistent on the first hit. Wow, what a quality of life armor slash shield. Quality of life, chat. I'm no longer just whipping the first normal. What a great feeling. I mean, it could still happen, but like, nowhere at the consistency. That felt good. That felt good. And again, Red Ring gives me 20 more ATP in general over my cap. So this character potentially having 900 attack is kind of silly. Because again, I think she's really good. Here's another example where she pulls ahead in the forest territory in multiplayer. Because she's got such a high grants, I'm doing 130 a shot, and it lines me up with the Rambling May. I don't have to retarget. So just look at that free damage I did on falls. Much more useful in single player than multiplayer, but it helps with targeting the Rambling May no matter what. Gonna rebuff Chris. Wow, the boss just took so much damage. I'll use another Tri-Fluid. I was on the fence if I wanted to or not. If it links with Chris, we might actually just get the kill here. Oh, don't kill me. Okay, we're good. You shouldn't be able to kill me. I have more than enough health. There we go. Actually, Chris, I think if you'd not healed and you had just attacked, I think you would have killed before it, like, linked. She was very low. Yeah, because I saw you pause, and I got exactly 1.5 hits in that time, and I did 500. So if you had also did 500, that would have put her at 900. I wouldn't have been able to die from that. Yeah, like, you get, like, a little bit of an opportunity if you do get knocked down. You could get, I think, one shot always being trolled. I'll donate towards the trolling. It can help if we get, like, a short cycle. In that scenario, I don't think it really mattered. Unless you crit. Then if you crit, I think you would have killed the boss at that point. But otherwise, you know, pretty fast. Like, 17 minutes. I didn't even have Excalibur. Like, it just shows how good this character is. Didn't even use Excalibur, chat. This character's ridiculous. I might just leave Red Ring on her forever. Honestly, I have no reason to get rid of this on her unless I want to give it to the Rodka Seal, which is like a good consideration. Extra accuracy and ATP. She needs ATP, but extra accuracy makes her kind of like the premier support ranger, so I can always land special, which, don't get me wrong, it is really important for me to do. But I think right now, since she's not 180, I guess I'll just keep it on this character. I'm not going to use Red Ring on my Faux New World. That would just be such a waste. Thank you for the HP material. Yeah, we'll put the grants away for now. I'm just gonna keep the Red Ring. I can just choose if I want resistances or just roll damage. With the TTF, I don't super care about resistances. I have enough health that I can survive all the boss attacks. And because I chose Congeal Cloak over Fire Cloak, I do have a ridiculous amount of ice resistance. However, if I'm playing well, I shouldn't even be using Congeal Cloak. I should actually be using an armor called 13. And we'll talk about this as the last benefit of playing the Fomoral. She has the best Slicer animations in the game. So she is really fun to play with when it comes to ATP. With things like Slicer Fanatic to reduce health, or Disco Graveman to use Berserk. She is so good. I do not blame people for using Slicers with her over other weapon choices. And that's all I really have to say about the Fomoral. Pretty great character, not necessarily solo player material as your first character, but man, oh man, there is an actual payoff for using this character, and she felt so good just then. So we'll have Chris make the game again as I switch characters. Yeah, like, we'll see. I mean, I could use the Red Ring on, like, the Fomar. I mean, it would be good. His accuracy is terrible. Literally the worst in the game. But we're not going to talk about him right away. We're going to go into the Faux New World, who is my favorite character, although I don't think she is the best force. I think she is my favorite force. Like, for actually playing as a mage, this is probably my favorite force. She's got ridiculously bad health, which is so good. As I said before, it's the secret buff nerf. Like, once you get to the point you survive the one-shots, then you can laugh at how easy her terrible defense lends to you getting Mag Blast. And she gets Mag Blast the fastest out of all the characters because she takes a bazillion damage. So I'm ready to go. God Technique, 2 Heavenly Battles, and a missing unit. What was I using as my unit? Question mark. It was probably a Cure unit, but what was I doing before then? I'm gonna check my character bag to see what I would have been using. Oh, she had a Heavenly Mind. That's right. She had a Heavenly Mind on earlier because I just wanted raw damage. Yeah, I think I even put God Technique on just so she'd be level 30 everything. Mostly for cast time reduction rather than damage. They just need a random unit. Oh, does she not have her own magical piece? I think I have one in my share bank, but I'll just take the Fire Scepter. It serves the same purpose. Crimson Coat. That was the armor I was trying to think of earlier. So Crimson Coat plus Red Saber equals Super Dead Mines Boss. I might as well show it off. Although I don't think I have enough raw ATP. Oh, I'd have to have a... Well, I could put a God Power on. Actually, I should have one of those, right? Question mark? No, I don't have one. I should have one in my share bank. I should have a Heavenly Power. Sure, we'll do it. There we go. So I can finally wield it, because Congealed Cloak is not useful, unfortunately. It's useful in like other episodes, just not for a TTF run, because almost nothing is weak to fire. So if I wear this Red Saber, 1 second, which has 15% to machine. Oh my gosh, this is actually unfair. One moment. The unfairness is happening. I just need to grind it up a little bit. So I'm gonna try to kill it. Chris can stun lock it, but I want to get the Gazan loops. Get like 20 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these. Should hopefully be enough for Red Saber. I mean, 20 hit on a Red Saber. Can't really ask for more. So this gives a ludicrous amount of ATP. And my effective ATP is now higher. It gets plus 63 and is still going. Oh my gosh. How high does Red Saber go? Plus 78. Holy. So I have 1,000... Oh, you gave me... Oh, you don't have to give me one, unless you really don't need it. That's up to you. If you really don't need it, I will keep it. Just sort through. So I went from... Okay, thank you. I'll put this in the share bag forever then. So I think for episode 1, I'll leave her on like this. So again, like, she now has 1,500 ATP. Like, I think she almost has more than Chris does. Like, the worst ATP character in the game. But, like, total ATP is 1,505. Like, that is actually silly. I'm sure Chris is, like, looking at his character like, how? I know, it's so silly. So we might as well show off the trick. You do have more? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wanted to get you the Crimson Coat so you could actually experience joy with this character. I never taught her any melee moves, so I can't actually see her damage. But it'll serve a purpose later, trust me. Oh, Tri-Grinder? I'm gonna need one of those after spending those. So yeah, I can use that to my advantage. She's one of the few characters where you could probably get away with it, because I don't... She's got so much MST base that it doesn't really matter. Oh, we're foey a little bit. Nice. Take advantage of my level 30 freeze distance. Debuff for Chris. Chris is going to end up doing most of the DPS. I got a random photon drop. Nice. And a mine material. Oh. I'll take that. So I don't have anything to buff Gazan, but keep in mind, I have like 400 more MST than most characters. So she's still gonna do more than the Fomaro. even though I don't have magical piece equipped. Oh, that's not, oops, that's what I'm looking for. I was Zonding instead of Gazonding. Whoops. I mean, I could teach her other techniques as a joke. This is where I'm saying, like, I need Barda, Zond, and Rafoi pretty often with this character, because I actually use them as a force versus, like, a melee character. But now, with the freedom of the control scheme, I might actually be able to just assign those slots for free. So this character would take advantage of the new slots that I just learned about earlier today. So that way I could put all my basics on my control tab, including Megid. So that would be 4 spells, and then I can just assign all my melee moves. So I can essentially get 7 commands there, and still get Rafoi. So that would be 5 extra spells I'd be able to put in. I don't know why I just used Rafoi on the wrong set of boxes there. Mono Grinder, I think I need those. Granted, I know I have some on the Ramar from our earlier gameplay. Also, I love that she has double Heavenly Body. I was just like so sure she was gonna die to things. Like, I had no faith. Like, how much Heavenly Body defense am I actually getting? So I'm at 362 compared to 390. So even if I get 18 more levels, I think she's only gonna get maybe 1 defensive point. I'm still gonna have to wear at least 1 Heavenly Body if I want to max. That's crazy. So her getting level ups with ATP is actually kind of huge, because if I could get away with just using like a V101, for example, instead of a traditional Heavenly Power to get my Red Saber usage, it would actually be pretty huge. Also, Rafoi here, I love it. There we go. Yeah, I definitely cannot solo any of these lilies. Well, I mean, I could barter them, I guess. Barter's decent still. But they're probably going to paralyze me if I do that. So that's why I didn't go for it. Now, if I had Psycho Wand, I think I could kill fast enough. Or my Summit Moon. If I brought Summit Moon with me, I think I could have killed fast enough. I'm only missing it by like 100 damage, and getting 3 Bardas out is probably good enough. Barda is a very strong single target spell, or not single target, I always call it that, simple technique. The Fonu roll gets a bonus to rest of range buffs, but instead of grants, they get basic, I keep calling it basic, all simple techs are improved by, I think, 30%. So that means that there's actually a purpose to using Barda. It's already like a decent spell, surprisingly, for a low-level tech. But it becomes super godly in her hands. Now, the downside to all the forces is that the game prefers you to be ATP over a force user. Nice. I played the second team well. Got that invincibility. So, multiplayer, you're gonna really struggle to do damage versus bosses. So here's another example where I really don't have great tools to use other than Magical Piece Gapoi or equivalency thereof. I'm just like very mediocre at damage. Actually, I should be doing this. There we go. That was like 1 cycle. I'm fine. Given that I didn't have any weapons, I think that was fine. And I did bring Magical Piece. I think that went fine. I do actually like Rafoi a lot. I'm starting to, like, I'm gonna not use warm up, I already used that pun. I feel like it is more useful than people give it credit for. In particular, if I can't stack damage, I think it's better for me to just spam Rafoi over Gapoi because it comes out faster. So therefore, it's going to interrupt the robots faster. And it still hits all of them in most scenarios. Whereas, like, stacking Gapoi here, I might have gotten 1 extra Gapoi, but I would have been very stationary, so I would have been really far from the enemy and not able to hit the next wave. It's like, here's an example where I could Gapoi because I'm waiting for a wave, right? And that's where it would be useful. But here, then, I just switch back to regular Rafoi. So I get a little bit of the best of both worlds. And again, imagine if I had like an ignition cloak to get like that extra 20% or 10% damage, I mean. Like, it would make a big difference with me. So I think Psycho Wand I would legit use with Summit Moon, and this character would just be perfect. I would play them purely as a force, would not bother with weapons outside of Red Saber Cheese on the Mines boss. Here's another example where I just think Riffoi's better. Just get that faster kill. If we're not clearing the room, faster for me to Riffoi. So it can be useful to kind of pay attention to the spawns and whether or not an enemy, you know, after the current wave is weak to fire. That'll make your big difference. Otherwise, if we're just talking about DPS, I just feel like Riffoi is just better. I think it even has higher damage in general, on top of better cast speed. Now, the downside is I take a million damage from these enemies, so I gotta be careful. So I'll weaken them up a little bit here, but I really should be using Gafoi for the next wave. Even though this is slower, it'll just speed up so much in the next wave. And I feel like it's always worth going for these, I think. Oh, wait a minute, we're Sky ID. We don't care about this. Actually, we should just move on. It's just Sky ID. I'm so used to playing Green or Viridian where this matters. But no, Sky ID, I don't think it's any interesting rares, unfortunately, in mines. I mean, I'll kill them because they have presents, maybe. That's it. Give me a present? No presents? Okay. I'm out of here. We're going to use the lore to make sure Chris does as much damage as possible. And he did a lot of damage there. I think we could all agree. And even as the lure of this guy to speed it up for Chris. Huh, Riffoe also works to pop the switch. Huh. I always like to just change up my strategy a little bit, as I never assume what I'm doing is the most optimal. The only way to really know is by testing different things. So I decided to try Riffoe there. That's a good backup in case Gazan doesn't reach. Speaking of which, I'm going to switch over to Red Saber, and Chris will stun lock the boss briefly. But then I'm going to spam Gazand. And that should really help speed things up. I should have swamped before coming in here. That was a misplay on my part. In either other case, I'd still be doing more damage per fireball compared to everything else. I don't have V801, so I don't have like the fastest lightning, unfortunately. But I could do an okay amount. That shock is so unfortunately timed. Ran out of TP of all things. With this character, it's very rare. With having the highest MST in the game, she also has high base TP, so she gets an insane amount of spells. Like all Newman, she also gains TP by holding still. It's more relevant on this character because they're so tech reliant. See, unfortunately, not getting good screenshot stuns. All the screens are still there. There we go. This is where I don't do anything. If I had put in my normal and heart attacks here, I would have been able to hurt the boss a little bit here. 1500 is pretty solid, especially since I have 15% machine. It's like, I could remap my things, or I could just spam ice with ice staff. Kind of fine with either. Let me go directly in the front. I wish this multi-hit. I feel kind of sad it can't hit the multiple parts with one spell. So we're going to do the classic Gafoi action. My material scape doll. I think we'll pick up both. One other sad thing is that even though this character is super good with techniques, in multiplayer, some of the resistances they add to elements are actually just nonsense BS. A great example is the Darkbringer. it only has a 90%, or it has a 10% chance, or excuse me, it only takes 10% total damage from your spell. Where in single player, it takes, I think, 33. It's like ridiculously so much higher, and it has half health. It takes forever to kill Darkbringers with this character. So she is not suited for scenarios where ATP is really required. So I don't think she's like the best force in multiplayer when it comes to damage, sadly. Just due to the fact that the game favors ATP so much. And part of it is just because of how badly they messed up resistances. I really wish they went back and re-nerfed some of those so that it was like somewhat reasonable to kill things like Darkbringers. Like even just 80% resistance instead of 10% would have been so much better. Like, I agree the resistances should probably go up a tiny bit, but I don't think any jump should be like more than 5%, to be real with you. And the fact that it puts them at near immunity is just absolute nonsense. I don't know what they were thinking. So anyway, I'm gonna equip the Fire Scepter, get some boosted spinner damage. In fact, she has so much MST, I think maybe with the Fire Staff it could one-shot. We'll see though. With Ignition Cloak, I think it definitely will. I'm just not... Will it do more than 300 is my question here. No, it only does 213. Oh, it's actually higher resistance than I thought. It's not a big deal either way. Oh, I gotta be careful. I was not careful. I'm just gonna rest it myself. It's not play any games with the boss. It Falls is also an example where simple texts are actually super nice, as the boss has actually reasonable resistances to things. So this boss fight is actually super easy in single player, whereas in multiplayer, it's just horrendous. Also, I don't know what my Rifoi was targeting, but I think that'll get me killed. In fact, I think I'm dead. Yeah, I died. So now I've learned, don't Rifoi. I guess it targets somewhere in the center of Falls' body. So I needed to know. As I said before, I want to find like good strats, because Rifoi would out damage. And technically, if it was targeting the head I was looking at, it would have been able to like kill them as they come out. Maybe I targeted like the far head or something there. I'm not really sure, but it was very awkward for sure. Again, like its weakness is ice, and Barda hits a really far distance. Like she has some like potential in single player. Just multiplayer, it feels a little kind of eh. There we go. So she'll do the most damage on Falls if the person's not using a weapon in multiplayer. It's kind of like the caveat. Like, it's very hard to compete with that. Because Rabarda getting a buff is not as useful because its range isn't as good and its damage is lower. So even though, like, Faux Newman should technically be better, it's kind of not. I guess I could regular Foe the boss here. I do 316 of Fireball? What? Holy, actual damage? Holy, look at the damage. Yo, this character is the Falls Slayer, even in multiplayer. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. 300 damage. Almost triple the next person. Wow. Just goes to show, just simple text. If I had Summit Moon, I would do more damage. If I had Ignition Cloak, my damage would be insane. I gotta be careful not to kill Chris while he's in that phase. Okay, we're good. Alright, no matter what, none of us can die to the boss. Nice. Wow, what a damage. I'm sure Chris was not expecting that either. I mean, I was doing like, what, 88 grants damage as Faux Newman? That was 316 as with Bowie. Wow. So pretty solid. Again, if you want to play just a force for your classic low health, high damage, really good. It just shows what a difference those techniques can give. In fact, we clear that faster than the Fomarl, I think just purely due to that fireball damage. Which is very silly. Like, we didn't lose that much time on the Worm boss. We lost a lot of time on the Mines boss, too. But she's also slightly better at falls. Fireball! Although, I was getting a lot of damage in with the Rambling May. I might still... I think we had a faster falls phase. I don't know if you call it 3 or whatever. Fireball indeed. But yeah, she's pretty fun. I just wish I had leveled her a little more during the 200% XP. Like, I really like this character. It just, she needs levels for sure. So I'll probably swap back. No, I'll just leave it on. It's fine. I'll sell these other items though. Restock for the future. Gladius, put away the drop. So yeah, tons of fun. Shows that simple text can be very good. One of the rare scenarios you will not use, like a Rafoi, for example, is getting that raw fireball damage is more important than the AoE on that boss. Because she gets such a good bonus to it. It's like, oh, I didn't realize my synchro wasn't maxed. That's right. I did die earlier. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make the game going forward. So we're gonna go up next to the Fomar. Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll go back to some more Christmas snafus. As I think most characters can handle falls. But I think for now, just for raw TTF potential. Call it Rocks TTF. This character has the red. Yeah, see, this character's ready. Ignition Cloak, Magical Piece. I could put regular Foe on, maybe, with all these tech boosts. I'm probably not going to use the special button. I'm just going to temporarily get rid of special. It's fine. I think having Foe to speed up that final phase is good. Like, I do have the Bringer's Arm, which normally I do actually use the special on it, but right now I'm not going to use it, so I'll do that for now. Cure Freeze, Centurion ability. 1340 MST, higher than my Fomarl. Accuracy only 163. I think that's 7 accuracy lower, so 7% less likely to hit. Which is kind of brutal, not gonna lie, kind of brutal. Because the enemy evade is so high in multiplayer, that 7% makes a big difference. If it was like 2 or 3, I would say it wouldn't be a big deal, but it's a big deal. Let's see, now that I have Ignition Cloak, I should just stick to Gafoe. Although I could also just Astron Belt. Yeah, let's just Astron Belt. More universal in the damage. Although the Gafoe hitting that wasn't too bad. So, advantages of Fomar. I don't know. I feel like this character should have been a lot more impressive than he was. Like, he's got really good ATP, so he can melee faster. The problem with it is that his accuracy is so bad. So, like, people are like, oh, yeah, you could do so much damage with so-and-so. Yeah, if you have, like, a 50-hit Excalibur, maybe. But, like, for the realistic duration of the gameplay, this character, to me, was not fun to play as a Force or as a melee character until like 175. Like, it took a really long time because I needed to have all these weapons just for the character to be playable. Not like average or amazing, just playable. Like, there's just so many items you need. In fact, there's still some items I don't have. Like, as an example, I still need a pretty high Guardiana with hit percentage, for example. So that way I could take advantage of his ATP on a ranged spirit type weapon. As he does do a lot of damage, you just can never land the special. And even in single player, you have like a 50% chance of most enemies. It's so bad. It just, you are never realistically going to get it out. So you would need to compensate that by having like 30-40 hit, just so that you're like in the ballpark of an average hunter accuracy. Like, to give you an idea, like, I think the lowest hunter accuracy is around 180, and I'm still like 17% lower than that. And like the Hugh Casil can have, like, I think as I said before, a little over 200. Hugh New World has 199. I think the Hugh Cast is like 180 something. I don't think it's literally 180. It's not great. It kind of is what it is. Oh, my bad. I went on full slime kill mode. The urge to kill was so great. This is where I wish I had the fire staff, but ignition cloak's okay. For the same purposes. Now I'm gonna kill the slime just to see if there's a rare lily. Oh, there is? What? Where was this on our other characters? Oh, now I have cure paralysis on. That's awkward. Chris embrace death. So I think Green ID might get Heavenly Power, which I don't mind. I just wish this was when we were Blue ID we got this. Oh, a DV Saber. Ew. Oh, Viridian has Heavenly Power. That's right. Never mind. So that rare wasn't even worth it at all. Actual sadness. Such is life, I guess. Oh. I missed my sniper shot. I deserve that. I deserve that. Let's get a little freeze action going on here. Where is my cure paralysis? Is it just... Oh, I just didn't have it equipped. Okay. Sorry, my bad. I'm gonna get rid of that. Should be no more incidents going forward. I do miss special for this room though. I don't think I have anything that does enough damage. I gotta be a little careful. Still stun lock from here though. Yeah, I'm missing like the big damage payoff. Like if I had an Excalibur there, I'd just walk up and weed whack the Lily. But I don't have that on me. However, I do have Astron Belt, so that means I'm good for the worm boss. So that should be fine. So unfortunately, we got the rare Lily when we were an ID where Lily is useless, aka everything that isn't purple. I'll stay behind and kill this thing. You can kill the slimes. Rest in peace, monster. Because I don't think I could go Bowie fast enough to kill them. Okay, let's see the star to fix our synchro. Get a couple of these in. I still junk these items as I'm walking. Okay. So I do miss the special button just for Bringer's Arm, but it's not a big deal. I'm not going to use it beyond this point. The only point I would have used it maybe would have been specifically for those lilies. Also, looks like I paid the Sega team again. The 50-50 is almost 100% for me. I think I whiffed it once in 17 worms. So you do the odds. It's not good for the worm. Now it's targeting me when I have invincibility. Remember before I was like, why didn't it target me? Normally it targets the player with lower health. I'm not gonna say every time, but usually. So I find it funny when it targets me like that. I think Green ID could get Holy Ray. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope, no Holy Ray. Ray Gun with freeze, disappointing. I'll take the boss money, though. What do I do? I guess I just debuff into debuff. Nah, I think I should magical piece this. Which again, I wish I had Ripoe set up on this character. I don't play him like a normal force, so not all of his buttons are set up correctly. He's got Barda though. I knew like if I didn't have a sniper, get some help with it later. There's where the stacking Gafoe comes into play. Hurts the Sinnoh a little bit. Okay, so all the guild chicks should be dead. Except for maybe the one that's about to punch me. I guess he dodged the fireball on spawn or something weird. So I got Estron Belt for ATP. Should be good enough. 1886 with Fascazon should be fine. Assuming I have Vita 1. If not, I'll just... Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's not worry about it. Magical piece in the meantime. I might as well kill a few more since I'm here. No, I'm good. Rebuff Chris. Let's see. XP wise, quite a while away from getting to where I need to go. So this character's health total isn't great. So he kind of has like the faux neural advantage of if he has the HP to survive, he's fine. But man, it is really rough playing as him with the Force. I just feel like if you actually want to cast techniques, you should just pick a faux Newman or a faux neural. If you're looking to be kind of like a red mage kind of character, this character is kind of like that, where they're just kind of the jack of all trades, but not really great at any either. But if you want a really good, like, white mage tank kind of character, Fomoral there, and I'm all for that. And that's not to underplay how good she is with weapons. Because honestly, 100 ATP versus 7 accuracy, with how low their accuracy is, I will take that 7 accuracy 100% of the time. I just don't like to miss, and this character misses all the time. So you are at the mercy of RNG every time you play this character, which is brutal. You're not even guaranteed to land your normals on most enemies. Nice. I'm gonna walk by Zalor this thing for you. There we go. Chain Lightning. Razan to stop them from shooting. Razan one more time to stop them from shooting. And I'm out of here. So I'll just rebuff real quick. I made the game, so it should be like right behind me. Unfortunately, it's not at a point I can target it. I'm gonna do a couple magical pieces here. I put my Astron Bell. I can't loop it, so you'll have to help. Oh, apparently that ATP made a difference. Sure. So, always nice. Didn't even have like a super high ATP weapon. If I had Red Saber or Excalibur, that would have been way faster. But it's fine. You see that? I can't reach Chris with the heal from that distance, whereas with the females I could. So not the best support mage. You could get items to compensate for that if you are interested in that, if you like the character style, but it requires sacrificing those weapon and item choices, whereas the females do not sacrifice anything. One advantage the males get over the females is that they can cast faster while unarmed, which honestly does make using them as a force way easier early on before you get the elemental stabs. So males do have a small advantage there, but again, I feel like if you're gonna do that, just pick the Phonumen. Uh-oh, you shot the wrong target. There we go. So, I'm sorry, I could have also used Bringer Arm Special there, but it's okay. We committed to having Foe for the boss for later. Let's not mess up this minute. Let's come over here. Okay. Not too shabby. So this time we should actually get potential red ring chances. So, in theory, I could have enough red rings for every one of my forces. And eventually having one on a Raw Marl, for example, would be pretty good. Buffing her ATP and accuracy. Be kind of sick. I think it would be extremely good on my Ramar because he already has defense issues. And giving him even more ATA means I think I could even just like special in solo, which is a privilege only he would be able to do. Maybe he'll normal special from like full screen with no hit percentage weapons, which would be absolutely bonkers. Oh, no mag invincibility. Boo. Well, at least I have Magical Piece and Ignition Cloak. So my fireball damage should be okay. As I said before, there is also one downside to using the unarmed in this fight in particular, is that your stance is wider, which normally is not a problem, but versing the spinners it is, because PSO decided that it hates you and that iframes are, you know, optional. So what'll happen? Oh, 259 is enough to one-shot. Oh. So the other character really does just need a Ignition Cloak. Interesting. But anyway, what I was saying with that is with the wider stance and the reduced iframes, spinners will hit you twice instead of once. So if you're supposed to get hit 4 times, it's basically a GG. Like, that did almost half my health, so that would have killed me if another spinner touched me when I was in the wide stance. Because I got hit by one spinner once, but it would have hit me 4 times normally. And then it would have maybe hit me once, depending on the animation. One more time after that. Alright, we'll use Gafoe here. Don't worry about it. Chip it out for very small amounts of damage while keeping Chris safe. We're gonna switch to a gun. I'm gonna heal myself. Or I got frozen when I went to heal. That sucked. So close. I'm not gonna bother buffing D-Band. I feel like defense should have worried about it. You're starting to feel bad for falls. Then she's gonna go, yeah, I was gonna say, she's gonna dip down to the floor if you say stuff like that. Never feel bad. Okay. Here's where I have an advantage over the other forces. My Bringer's Arm damage is pretty good. I'm actually gonna heal here if it targets me, because that will kill me. I think it targeted Chris. He's at 1400, which is enough to survive a fall swing, so he doesn't need to heal himself until after the swing occurs. So you can take that opportunity just blasting away at falls. I'm gonna try to walk forward in Zalor as normal. But if I can, my sniper will do more damage than Foe. You can also crit, which makes it do crazy amounts. Now I'll Foe. It's okay damage. I think I got like another 200 damage out of it. It's not like gonna be like a game changer necessarily, but if there are multiple forces, that does add up. Them doing like 900-ish combined damage instead of 400 will definitely make a difference. Yeah, we'll Foe to make sure we're targeting the boss. the boss went nowhere. Another fate? Oh my gosh, actually dead? Wow. Okay, now you can feel bad for falls. It didn't even go to the next phase. I was worried because I glanced out of habit, it was just gonna go away. Also, one thing I never paid attention to before, but those rings around Dark Falls, I didn't realize literally said Dark Falls until just now, by the way, chat. That was the first time I actually looked at what the rings were saying. Did you know that? Oh, you actually leveled. Congratulations. Yeah, look, next time it dies, look at the ring text. It might say more than just Dark Falls, but it definitely said Dark Falls. Yeah, it's kind of like in the PSO script. In fact, yeah, see, it says Dark Falls, something. Bark Falls? Oops, Foey? What is Agile? What is it saying there? Oh no, maybe it's just Falls spelled weird. It says Bark, indeed. Yeah, so apparently the text says Dark Falls. I never paid attention to it before. Fun fact. Let's fix my synchro. So that's pretty fun. I think I'll be using that Foey trick a bit more. It still does the same thing as Grant's, where it faces me towards the target. But again, the concern before was like, man, reserving a slot for Foey is really risky because it is so situational. But now I have a more convenient way of doing it. So next time, I'll probably go through and fix my forces. And then things will be good there. Oh gosh, I got the Night song. What did I do wrong? Why did I get this? Just shaking my head, chat. So we got enough time for exactly one more. So the Humar will have to wait a day. I'll sell this Guardian Shield, though. Okay. I'll get my money and then I'll switch characters. So that's pretty fun. This character almost having 1000 ATP is quite absurd in the late game, but that's just a lot of dedication. I don't know if people are willing to sit through and you were never gonna for Terrell exactly. I don't know. This character leaves me on the fence. Like they get, forgot to say, they got bonuses to Gafoe, which is like the guy techniques, which are fine, but their bonus to Grants helps them a little more in episode 4 than anywhere else as well. Not as strong as the Fomoral's Grants bonus, but it does help. And I do prefer him over the Fomoral in episode 4, but I still don't prefer him as my force. He's probably like my third preferred force in episode 4. Fomoral is like my favorite episode 1 force, and even episode 2, because ATP is wanted over that. So, anyway, let's switch characters. Enough about them. Oh, controller disconnected there for a second. So I'm going to be playing as my highest level force. I'm basically just going to leave him as is. I'm never going to remove his gear for other characters. Just because it's just like, he's complete in my mind. Bringer's Rifle with at least 40 hit. Mercurius, Magical Piece Excalibur. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of Mercurius. Now that I know how much Foey does, I think I'm just gonna completely change my strat. I'd rather take a Summit Moon at that point, because Summit Moon, at least I would use with Barda, which, you know, I already don't use a lot, but I do use it sometimes. So I will make the game, and the game is up. I do have Refoe set up on him, as I said before. For characters I actually use the Force, I use that. I guess I can make it regular Foe for now. But eventually I want to change that. Just making sure I'm ready to go. Do I have Cure Paralysis? I didn't notice. No, I do not. But... Oh, I do, but I'm not going to use it. We're just going to believe. We're going to believe we killed the Lily every time. So last chance at a red ring, and then we're going to cash in coal for presents. Chris will probably do his tomorrow if he doesn't have enough coal. So we didn't end up getting a lot of coal today. A little less than expected, but we'll make up for it tomorrow, I think. Oh, I got the demon to proc. Nice. Guess I'll wield Excalibur, because why not? Funny enough, I think with the Foe Neural is 20 extra accuracy on Red Saber. I think that puts her above average Hunter ATA. Because she has the highest accuracy of all the forces. So she's... I guess I'll add an amendment to that. So she's very likely to be able to use specials over the other forces without having the best of gear. The flip side being, of course, is that her attack power is useless, so most specials aren't all that great on her. However... The Foe Newman's not terrible at it, right? It can still use Bringer's Rifle, has the second best ATA of the group. He's not bad at it, and he's got enough ATP, a little above 800, I think 814 literally, that he can still do his job. So not a bad support force in that sense. I like using Bringer's Rifle on him. Technically all the forces can, but his extra... 17 accuracy over the Fomar, kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. I'm gonna dodge that, hopefully. Nice. Put out a couple fireballs. No items of interest whatsoever. I think it even dropped like a Dimate. Like, ugh. Gross. Very disappointed, chat. Very, very disappointed. Anyway, this should go pretty fast. This Excalibur is super good against the worm. Useful against the mob, since again, most of them don't take technique damage. It is really tricky to get him to qualify for the Excalibur without putting on like a power mag. Like, it is just so difficult. So Excalibur is not a realistic ask of like a mid-level force compared to like a mid-level hunter. So just one thing to keep in mind. Like, they do shine a lot in the late game for sure, but getting there can be a little tricky. However, I feel like unlike the Fomar, when it comes to leveling characters, this character, I actually legit one-shot that Lily. That's crazy. Anyway, one thing I will state is that it is just so much easier to play as the Foe Newman because he is naturally higher MST. The only character that's higher is the Foe Neural, who is kind of like the ultimate mage, blast cannon character. He gets really good bonuses to the Guy and Raw techniques, aka the medium and advanced techniques, which you do use a majority of the game. Oh. I mean, I'll handle this room, it's fine. I was just gonna assist you briefly. But then you turned around, I was like, never mind. Never mind, I'm out. I'll take that money, though. There we go. I should give him some time to kill some slimes. Who knows, maybe he'll get a present. I'll put it... I was gonna put a Pity Kafoe down. I guess I'll buff up and see if I paid off the Sega team again. I think getting like 15 in a row is the new record. Oh, I didn't pay my dues. Credit card decline, chat. I gotta deal with the boss for real this time. And it even knocks me down. That's so obnoxious. And now I need to know, is it going to target me? If it does, that's a problem. Oh no, it targeted Chris. Okay, so it's good faith for prior payments. Got it. They're like, you'll pay next time. That's fair. Very fair. Very fair. Devil's Gladius. Oof. Not good, chat. Switch back to being a mage briefly. Guess I'll go back to Magical Piece. I guess I could play more aggressively and stand like here-ish, so the fireballs are more likely to stack on the next wave. Maybe like right here, start casting. Goodbye, Guild Chick. It's not a bad damage distance. Thank you, Cryo, for the 5-month subscription. Hope you're doing well. We'll be playing a lot of Mayhem in the evening. We're just wrapping up our final PSO run of the day. And we're gonna go see if we will be blessed by the ultra rare RNG gods. Suddenly, I see all these people have subscribed. 1 second. I guess you've gifted 5 tier 1 gift subs. I'm not sure why your alerts are not coming up. I didn't see them. Maybe chat can correct me if I'm wrong. And thank you for gifting out to Shaky, Sonico, Nocturne Spirit, Mr. Mark Polo, and Hellcleave. Much appreciated. Hopefully you're doing well today, Cryo. Yeah, I feel like OBS just didn't launch it. Maybe it was me. I don't know. 5 months is more than 1, you think? One weird thing is, like, sometimes for the subscription message, I don't see it in, like, the chat or like the screen itself. So sometimes I have to actually just look up the OBS thing. I don't know why. You would think it would at least appear in the Twitch chat. Like, I know sometimes like the on-screen chat doesn't have everything, but very silly stuff. Support the community so much, just wanted to show you the same kindness you show us. Well, thank you, Crown. It's not necessary for you to do so, but it is a kind gesture. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this power material. I'm sure a few of them will quite enjoy the emotes and more importantly, the no ads. But I'm trying to do my best to reduce those ads. Those ads are something else, unfortunately. Yeah, we're just casually just doing a boss rush equivalency. So yeah, we'll be enjoying some Mayhem later tonight. We'll be playing both Alucard and X Armor, and then we're gonna go into the stream retrospective. Although I'm gonna put a time limit on how long I play each of them to make sure I give both of them a fair shake. I have a feeling chat will not let me win in 2.5 hours. I have a feeling I might be close. I might get up to 3 Vlads, and then I'll just be in get juggled hell for like 1.5 hours. Ooh, getting bullied. Gotta go to work tonight. Ooh. Well, I'll be streaming from 7:30 all the way to 1 in the morning. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to catch any part of that. Maybe, maybe not. But hey, at least we're streaming a little this morning. Although now it is afternoon, and I eventually need food. Ooh, no rare drops from these enemies. Unfortunate. But oh well. I'll take a clean room versus getting the rare. So let's use some Gazond chain lightning techniques. Oh, that's scary. The one on the right is not stunned. I'm so dead. I didn't die? I didn't die. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, Cryo. You are always welcome to the stream. And hopefully the meal is well received. I don't know why I Gafoe there. Razond is much better at stopping them from lasering. Bad habits. Gotta break them eventually. Okay, so I'm gonna try to turn around real quick and get the stun lock. See what happens though. Time to fight some computer screens. Oh no, it didn't target. I whiffed one, but one of them just straight up didn't target. That's brutal. There we go. This should work. I think it's slowly getting away. There we go. So I dropped it a little bit, but that wasn't too bad overall. I'll take that. Yeah, Gazan is kind of weird. Like, even though I'm looking at him, I think I press it like a frame or two too early, where he's technically on the screen. Pun partially intended. But it's like, it still doesn't target him sometimes. It's just brutal. There we go. I'll heal Chris after the boss dies. And we'll Razan just to clean it up. Nothing of interest spawn. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm kind of lined up with Chris when it comes to coming into this room, because he'll freeze the enemy, and I don't want to pull the claws in a weird way. Did I miss the frozen enemy? Wow. Actually unlucky. Wow. I'm shaking my head on that one, chat. Literally frozen solid. He still dodged me, and I didn't do enough damage. Get wrecked apparently. Yeah, that freeze trap so that Chris gets the consistent clear without them chasing him. I think it's been a good adaptation. I think, like, not every run we do in Peruse, but I do think, like, we experiment a little and learn each time. Like, I just learned a Brava spawns there, and it's useless, and I don't want it on this ID. See, we learned something today. I'm not gonna pick it up. But it could sit there unloved. As it should be. Oh, that rare Bringer's Rifle hit on Final Special. Love to see it. Now, Micah Foey with 1500 MST should be pretty good. Granted, I don't have Ignition Cloak on. And in fact, I think going forward, I might even just remove Mother Garb while I'm here. Like, Mother Garb is semi-useful in other areas, just for its raw defense, mostly, and, like, sometimes grants this useful debuff, like Gerdabalu. But for episode 1, not really gonna get a lot of advantage out of grants. Yeah, I'm, like, just shy. 259 is not enough to kill. So if I swap into... I said that before. I think just Ignition Cloak. I think that would have been enough. So unfortunately, I don't one-shot them with just one fireball. Oh well. Close though. Or maybe it is one-shotting. Wait a minute. Question mark. I don't remember if I said they had 250 or 260. Let's find out. Not bad. Either way, pretty happy. In single player, that definitely one-shots. Okay, debuff boss. Gafoe spam time. Good Bringer's Rifle, time to do some damage. I'll heal Chris so he doesn't have to worry about things. Boss is actually trolling. There we go. Healed Chris, then I shot the boss. It's more important he has max health. I'll take that 1 second time loss. Oh, I almost got a shot off on the boss from the start. Okay, dodging time. Start menu tricks. Dodge the boss. Nice, good pattern. I'm just gonna attack immediately. Oh, in case it didn't move, it did move. Okay, I'm gonna re-heal then. I'm probably gonna get hit here. I'm in a bad spot. Speaking of bad spot, I died instantly. Rest in peace, me. I'm good though. I got Scapegoals. It's just kind of unlucky. I probably could have just stayed to the sides. I'm gonna call that a misplay on my part. I don't think it was the game's fault. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm mostly gonna be using Foe anyway here, so I'm gonna walk up debuff, and then I'll either Foe immediately or shift it into attacks. Yeah, I think I just wanted to walk towards the boss, and like, I don't know why I went away from the normal game plan. Not really a good reason for it. Yeah, I think the fact that it also keeps me locked down a bit less is pretty good. So I could get 2 Foes in the span of 1 Grants. So I think that's definitely worth it, because it's already almost double damage. And that doesn't knock me down. I guess that is useful. Yeah, that does as much as a Foe does. No skipping a phase this time, it appears. Heal Chris up. I'll reshift to him. I realized the shift and we're off. My bad. Ooh. Good luck. I think boss is dead. There we go. There we go. Last chance for Red Ring of the year. I mean, I got one the other day, but on stream Red Ring. Let's see. Let's make it happen. Come on. Give Chris the Red Ring. He deserves it. Do it. Do it, game. Do it. You won't. You're a coward. I got money, I think. Game was a coward. 1624. I think that was our fastest force clear. But again, like, they're all within like 15 seconds of each other, and the only character that is like optimal is this character. Like, think of it this way. Like, all my characters don't have Excalibur. Almost none of my characters have Beetle 1. So like, just imagine, chat. If I could just clean up my equipment a bit more, I could be like sub 16 with just 2 people. Yeah, that fireball tech is definitely useful. I think overall it's adding about probably another 1,500 damage, maybe 2,000 to falls. Because again, like, I'm doing probably about 400 a phase versus just like maybe 100. And I usually get at least 4 of those phases per attempt. So that ends up being just an extra 1,000 or so, which is kind of nice. And it still lines me up for the shots. In fact, sometimes it even lets me get an extra shot in because it doesn't lock me as hard as Grants does. My bad for the character death. I got wrecked by the double stacked ice, which I had 39 ice resist, and that still killed me, by the way. That was actually very silly. I got triple frozen into Spinner, GG. So I guess I'll go to... I guess I'll just make a random quest. How do I exchange for presents? I'm really trying to remember. Christmas event shop? Is that what I'm looking for? I think it is. Is this the guy that gives me a present? We'll talk to him real quick to verify. It's Randolph. So we can get the ultimates from him. Let's do that. Guess we'll have a big drum roll. Will I receive a good present? So rest in peace to 50 coal. Give it a salute, chat. I built up like 30, I think, this year. It's not a small amount, but it's what it is. It's gonna give me pain, chat. I'm waiting for it to give me pain. It'll be like, despite me, because I said blue, it'll probably give me yellow paint. It'll be like everything I'll never use. Oh, it's only 40 coal. Oh, I thought it was 50. Oh, that's more reasonable. Oh, Chris, we could definitely get you enough coal then, because we've given you at least like 15 or 20 on stream. That is much more reasonable. Okay, well, what are we gonna get? Hope you get something good. You receive present. What are we gonna get? The final present of the year. That's it. I got a single photon drop. Oh man, that was not worth it. Oh, PSO. This was your moment. This is your moment to get people into the game. Shake your head, chat. I guess I'll get one more present or one more coal before the end of the event. I'm thinking I'm gonna get 12 coal. It wasn't paid, that's true. It was better than paid. I'll get at least 12 more coal, I think, tomorrow. I have at least 9 coal floating on other characters. So that should be enough, more or less. I can even do another Fiasco between streams if I really want to. No, I'm not going to, because I'm going to be gaming until 1 a.m. Never mind. Well, I might get it off stream then. And if I do get 40 coal off stream, I'm not going to use it. I'll just wait for when we're on stream. So anyway, the quest was a disappointment, but it's okay. I went in with the lowest possible expectations, and it was maybe about a centimeter above that. If it was like triple photon drop, I would have been like, oh, okay. But just single photon, I don't know. Because it can give doubles and triples of things. If it was a photon sphere, I would have been A-okay with that. Or not sphere. Well, obviously if it was a sphere, I'd be happy. I meant crystal. If it was a photon crystal, I would have been happy with that as well. Because I'm like, oh, I don't usually get a lot of those. But yeah, I don't spend the photon drops on anything at this point. People give them to me sometimes when I give out stuff, and I'm like, I guess I can make another magical piece. I only need 50 for that. I have like 98 or something between all my characters. And I turned some of my 99 into a weapon sphere already. But anyway, I guess that's all for the stream. So we'll give a little summary while we listen to... Actually, since we're going to listen to music anyway, might as well mess with the lobby music. Not dreams. Anything but the dreams one. Believe in myself. These are kind of fun. Oh, that did say Phantasy Star Online too. Oh no. I think it's playing the Christmas song, so I don't see a reason to do that one. Get It Up is from Mad World. Oh, I was wondering why that sounded familiar. Casino Night? Do that one then. Let's just give a little send off. Oh, there we go. The happy dancing star to the music. So what did we learn today? Well, Red Ring is a lie on stream. Lily will troll us by not spawning when I'm actually purple ID, as per usual. In terms of showcasing all the forces, hopefully I gave enough distinction between all the forces for people trying to figure out which one that they like, or even talking about some of the pros and cons. I will state it is useful to... I guess the only thing I really missed is that the Faux New World can't use Excalibur. I kind of briefly hinted at that with the Crimson Coat plus Red Saber combo. But she doesn't get enough base ATP. It needs 800 to use. I think she only gets like 530 or something. It's quite horrendous. But hey, we got to enjoy them for all their different weapon usages. I feel like this was a more unique run, ironically, compared to when we were playing Rangers. Because Rangers are played almost literally the same. Where forces, I do really mix up if I do melee or range, and the weapon choice is very different. But it is what it is. So I think with that, chat, that's a good point to stop the stream. So we're first going to give a send-off to YouTube. So if you got this far in the video or the VOD, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Bye again, YouTube, indeed.